For Justin, welcome.
Yes, that's like the standing ovation already. This is a good start. This is good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So this is my Twitter handle. This is my email address. Make sure you write it down. You can email me anytime. Today we are going to talk about business engineering, which it turns out is what I was born to speak about. This is exactly why I'm in this country. This is why I'm talking with you guys, because I am very, very passionate about this topic. But of course, with a name like that, there's no way that you guys can be very passionate about it. So, the name of the talk is actually Why You're in Founders Institute. Alright, so this talk is designed to address the needs of all the people who have said, hey, I already have a company, but I'm looking for something else. I haven't had any formal training, but I'm looking for it. I want a step-by-step process to help me walk through this stuff. That is exactly what we're going to get today. Are you excited? Yeah, I like it. One more time. Are you excited? Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is get to know all of you. So if you could, please stand up for me. Stand up and then give me a little bit of foot pattern. A little bit of, yeah, just move a little bit. Yeah, because we're going to move today. So what we're going to do, we're going to move you from where you are right now as individual, normal human beings into incredible business engineers. And I have a shit ton to talk about in a very small amount of time, so I need you to be really quick. Can I get a yeah? Yeah! Very good. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions right now. If you think the answer to the question is A, you're going to go to this corner. Everyone say A! A! Yeah, baby! If you think the answer is B, you're going to go to this corner. B! B! Very good. C! C! D! D! Yeah, baby! Here we go. Now, the answer, there are no wrong answers, there are no right answers. This is about me getting to know you and where you are in your entrepreneurial journey right now. Everyone say yeah! Yeah! Here we go! An investor comes in and gives you $10 million to build the startup of her dream. And she says, I want you to build a smart daycare. What that means is she sees tablets, she sees education technology, and she sees kids, them interacting when they're outside of school. Yes? Yes? Yes! Very good. Okay, so we're going to build that for her. Yeah? So we say, great, we're going to take her money. Now the question for you, A, B, C, or D, is what do you do first? What's your first instinct? Do you A, research education technology, move here if you think that's it? Do you B, research your competitors? C, do you research locations? Or D, do you go and play soccer? Alright, so go, 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 go! We're making the future, we're making our investor very happy, we're moving. Fantastic, okay. So we've got research, education technology, competitors. No one likes location, and a lot of people are going to be lazy asses and go play soccer. This sounds fun. Okay, so remember your answers. Question 2. Let's say you went and you researched the competition. How much are you going to start charging your people now? Are you going to do the competitive average of all your competitors? That's A. Are you going to be the lowest price leader, the lowest cost person? B. Are you going to be the premium product, highest of all your competitors, or are you just going to randomly charge customers as they walk in the door? So, again, no right or wrong answers. Whatever your instinct says is right, I want to get to know what you think. Okay, go, 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 go. Hurry, hurry, hurry. We got so much to cover. All right, so we've got here a couple of low-cost guys, a lot of premiums, and randos over here. Just like, hey, you're $5, you're $15. All right, fine. Remember your answer to this question. Number 3. So you get your first customers in the door, right? You've actually got them. You've got them in your grasp. The question is, when are you going to charge these customers? Are you going to charge because they're your first customers, they're doing you a favor? Are you just never going to charge them? Grandfather them in. That's over here. 90 days after opening. Give them a 3-month trial, see what they like. Come over here. See, when you open, doors open, first customer is going to pay me, you're going to be over here. And then today, before the thing's even bell, I'm going to steal the money right now, and who knows what happens. Are you ready? Go! Go, 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 go! Nice. One man. He stands alone, proud. Like, oh, you got some company? Yeah, come on. You got some company. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So, very good. Thank you so much. This helps me understand where we are in the room. Go ahead and take your seats now. Remember all the answers that you wrote. Okay. Now, look at this stuff. In all my experience helping startups, helping entrepreneurs, running my own companies, both successful and not successful, I realized there are two types of founders. There are your business engineers, and there are your business amateurs. All right, so what's the difference between the business engineer and the business amateur? The amateurs assume, and the engineers measure. That's really it. That's the difference. Let's give you an example of this. So let's say we had an investor walk in, not with $10 million, but $100 million, and says, I want you to build me a skyscraper. The amateur would say, fantastic. Let's see, with $100 million, if I say, back of the napkin, $10 million for the land, and then $1 million per floor, I can get you a 90-story building, which sounds pretty great to everybody. Then the amateur says, well, you know, for rebar, yeah, well, let me look at the competitors and what they have and all the other structures around, and we'll sort of, you know, assume that we need, yeah, let's say the middle grade rebar for the structure. And of course, the amateur will undoubtedly kill thousands of people with their shitty building, right? The amateur doesn't know anything. The amateur is just making guesses. They're assuming. It would be as if any one of us were given a pile of money and told to build things. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah? Right? So this is what amateurs do. What engineers do, you know the first thing the engineer does with that money? Not a goddamn thing. They go talk to the people who are going to be in the building. Should the building be flat? Should the building be tall? The person who's giving you the money, they don't know what the building should be for. They don't know. They're not the customers unless they're the person who's going to be in it. So the first thing we do is we go talk to the customers, who's the people who are going to be inside. Then they measure like crazy. They want to know, you know, how big should the foundation be? How deep should it be? How big the rebar should be? All this kind of stuff. They measure everything. They don't assume anything. And they don't actually build something. They don't waste time and money until they're sure the building will stand up. Yes? Everyone say yes. Yes. Okay. So now I can sort of feel it. I can sort of hear it. I can sort of smell it. We all sort of say, that's not me. Right? Like, I mean, I know I would say that if I was in your position. Look, I'm a smart person. You know, I went to some school and I got some money, and you know, some people here actually own businesses now. Like, so how the hell could you be an amateur if you own a business now? Well, let's see. Let's go back to our original hypothesis, our original assumption. Everybody stand up again for me. This time you can stay where you are. Everybody standing up. Fantastic. Okay, so who are the engineers and who are the amateurs? What would you do first? Everyone who answered A, C, or B, please take a seat. So if you answered D, you're standing, everyone else should be sitting, yes? Congratulations, all of you who are resting, you're amateurs. And you know that, you get to know that as part of who you are, which is just fantastic. All right, so now why was someone who answered D, who's not you cheat, he's seen this part before. Well, why did you pick D?
I picked D because that's a great focus group of the potential target of soccer moms.
Soccer moms.
It's basically because when you play soccer, you have a soccer field, and that's a location. Therefore, you're going to find people, you're going to find soccer moms and kids, and that's going to be
That's it. That's engineering talk right there. Wait, who are the people going to use this? My investor, just because she gives me money and says go build a daycare, that doesn't mean she knows what she's talking about. It would be unethical, it would be bad of me to go take that money and start researching any of this stuff because we're not sure it's going to succeed. Yes? Yes. Yes? Yes. Thank you. Okay, now, question number 2. How much would you charge? Average, low, high. If you answer D, remain standing. Everyone else, sit down. All right, fantastic. Congratulations to all of you who are taking a seat. You are officially an amateur. Very good. Okay, so why is this? Not you, cheater. You did this at Corecon, didn't you? Oh, you were late for that. Well, you're totally late. Why did you pick D?
I picked D because from the premise you said, it was some more entrepreneur giving me money to work on her idea. I want to work on my idea.
Screw you, I took your money to run. All right, you get to sit down. Why did you pick D?
Randomize how to charge people, ask them how they felt, and you figure it out.
Okay, and what was the last part?
Because I don't know how.
Nice, because you don't know. That's it, right? The engineer knows that she doesn't know. She doesn't know how tall the building is. You get to stand up. Keep standing up. Very good. Okay, so who do we got left? Are you going to charge them never, or are you going to charge them 3 months? As soon as you open the door, are you going to charge them today? If you answered A, B, or C, sit your ass down. Sit down, sit down. Well, if you're standing, sit down. You're standing. So did you change your mind? No, you're sitting.
No, I picked D.
Okay, but did you pick D on all of them?
Oh no, I just now.
You didn't. Okay. Fantastic. This is what I love. I love a room of people taking it easy, chilling out. And the reason is because we're all fucking amateurs at this, right? You see that everyone in here is an amateur. You are an amateur. Everyone hold up your right hand. Repeat after me. I am an amateur. I am an amateur. I am an amateur. I am an amateur. With pride, I am an amateur. I am an amateur. That's it, man. Yes, we own it. That's the first step to admitting you have a problem. Admitting you have a problem. Okay, so we are all amateurs here. I am an amateur. Marcos was an amateur. We've all been amateurs at one point or another. Yes, this is how we. And this is what's great about you guys. You guys are in this room because a part of your brain actually knows that you're amateurs. And this is exactly why 75% of even funded startups with clickers, funded. Oh, come on, baby. Startups fail. Okay, so we're gonna try this real quick. Because I'm just more fun. Okay, so 75% of startups fail. So what that means is that of the 10% of you guys who are even gonna get funding, which, you know, if I'm being generous, rounds to 3, we're still not in like successful territory. 75% of them are gonna fail. That's because they're amateurs. They don't measure, they assume. All right, so the big question is, how do we get from amateur to engineer? And this is the slide, this is the 3,000-mile slide. This is the slide that I hope, if I do my job right, this is the slide you got into FI4. If you can internalize this, it can change your life, it can change your business. Everyone say, amen! Amen! There we go. Okay, so this is the money, here we go. So how do we get from amateur to engineer? It's 2 easy steps. Step 1 is me changing the batteries in here and hoping it works. Alright. No. Okay, we're going to be dynamic, we're going to be Batman. Okay, so step 1, we know that amateurs assume. We also know that engineers measure. So how do we get from amateur to engineer? Everything you think is an assumption. Everything you think is an assumption. Every thought you have about your company is an assumption. Everyone say, everything I think is an assumption.
Everything I think is an assumption.
Turn to the person next to you, tell them everything you think is an assumption.
Everything you think is an assumption.
Everything I think is an assumption. One more time.
Everything I think is an assumption.
Oh, it's so good to hear. It's so good to hear. Because this is going to unlock you. When you realize that, everything I think is an assumption, that means that I have to
Measure everything.
yes, that's right. I have to replace my assumptions with measurements. That's really all it is. That's why you guys are in FI. To know that, wait, everything I know is an assumption, so that means I have to measure everything. That's it. That's why you're here. So now that you know that, I mean, all that's left is to really figure out how to measure these things. And the answer to that question is very simple. Engineers measure it with tools, whether it's the height of a building or forces or whatever, you have different tools. So what Marcos introduced you guys today to is this business model canvas. This business model canvas is a tool in and of itself, but it also is your tool belt. It will represent and will hold all the different tools, all the different tools of things that you need to measure. So, inside your, let me see business model canvas we got. Very good. Okay, this right here, right here. Okay, so right here, yeah, very good, thank you. Inside here, what are all these sticky notes? What are they?
Assumptions.
Yeah, they're all assumptions. They're all guesses. So what are we going to do? We're going to measure all of them. Yeah, so all we need to do is come up with the tools to measure each one of these things. So let's talk about the tools to measure customer segments. Now, there are many tools for all of these things. I'm going to give you sort of a really high level, boom, boom, boom. Here's what some of these tools look like. So, numero uno. Oh, so yeah, so there are tools for all of them. Ta-da. Okay, great. Customer interviews. Oh, very good. Okay. Customer interviews. Okay, tool for customer segment, customer interviews. So let's talk about what that can look like. How many of you guys here have heard of Mechanical Turk? Woo! Oh, that was good, that was good. Who was it? Mechanical Turk? Yes, very good. Anybody else? A handful, a couple, 3, 4? Okay, so we're going to talk about what Mechanical Turk is. Mechanical Turk, think of it like a giant job board in the cloud. So this is a job, this is where people post very tiny jobs. Things like, can you type in the text that you see within this picture? It's a tiny job. I'll pay you a tiny amount of money, 3 cents. Yeah? And so you can put in millions of these things, and there are people sitting around waiting to do these tiny little jobs. Yeah, and it turns out, there's a bunch of data, we can talk about all of it. It's a pretty good sampling of the population, and they do it not for money. They don't want the tiny amount of money. They want something to do. It's replacement for solitaire. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at what these hits look like. A hit is one of these job postings. So I'm just going to give you an example. Okay, so let's see if there's one that I can. Find an email address on a website. So let's go look at this one. This is going to be a bummer. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, view a hit. So it says, open this website, find a contact email address and enter it below, and you enter it in. This is the entire hit. And for that work, I will get paid 1 penny. Yes? Does this make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so we can do the exact same thing, and I'm going to do this now, for customer interviews. So I'll show you what I'm doing, but I'm also going to try and get someone to call us while we're hanging out here so you guys can actually see what it looks like. So what this looks like here is I'm going to post a job posting on Mechanical Turk, and it says, this is just the title of the job post here, quick phone interview, a description of it, a 5-minute phone interview if you have friends or family who are constantly late. So this is me trying to filter and find my customer segments. And then I'm going to put in some keywords, and then I'm going to tell them how much I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay a whopping $1.01, which to the Mechanical Turk world is actually quite a bit. But to us, $1? Right? That's a piece of cake, right? That's $20 to talk to 20 people. I spend more on gas money just to go to the soccer field. So this is what I'm trying to do. The number of hits, that's the number of people who can actually complete this job. So this is 2 in this case. I want to try and put 2 people out there just in case one of them is a dud and they call us and it doesn't work out. This other stuff, don't worry about. So the idea is I'm going to post this little job to the internet, and we're going to hope that someone calls us in the next couple minutes. And here's what it looks like. If you have a family member or a friend who is constantly running late, and that family member or friend owns a smartphone, call for a 5-minute phone survey. I gave them a number, and this is to my Google Voice account, and then some other stuff. And then I said, hey, here's a password that I will give you over the phone that you will enter to verify that you actually completed the phone interview. So that people just don't sign up and say they get it. Okay? So, we're going to let this sit. And hopefully, like I say, someone will call. If they don't, I'll give you a recording and you guys can sort of see how it all plays out. This is the idea. So that is one tool. That's one way to validate the things on your customer segment section, phone interviews, any interviews at all. Tools for revenue stream. A lot of questions about, am I going to be able to make money? So there's some tools to validate that. And of course, we're doing all this before we've built anything. That's the whole point. We're not sure of anything on our board, and we don't want to go raise money, we don't want to go start packing away on stuff unless we know it's going to work. So this is a solution to that problem. How many of you guys know about Kickstarter? Raise your hand. Anybody not know about Kickstarter? You guys not familiar with Kickstarter? Kickstarter? Okay, Kickstarter is a place where someone on the internet can say, hey, I want to do something cool. I want to send a satellite into space. Or I want to dig a well in some other place. I want to do something. People on the internet give me money to do that. And if I reach my goal, then I will go do this thing. If I do not reach my goal, I will not do that thing and you will get all your money back.
Oh.
Yes? Okay, so this is the premise, and it's really, really helpful to people like us because we can go say, you know what, internet, here's a product that I want to build. I've not built it yet, but here's a full description of it in the form of a video. Here's the price, 20 bucks. This is an iPhone app, by the way. If you want it, pre-order it now. And if I get 5,000 people to buy it within 25 days that are left, I will build it. If not, I won't build it. So it lets the consumer side decide, yeah, hey, do you guys want this? Do you want this so badly that you will pay for it today? Like our daycare scenario. I want your money now. If you're not willing to pay for it now, it's not a big enough problem for me to worry about. Yeah? Okay, so this is an actual example. This is an iPhone app that I am working on, and we actually have some results. But before let me show you those. The other cool thing that we can do about this, not only can we test whether or not someone will pay, we can test how much they'll pay. So here's the exact same site. Notice anything different?
No.
Yeah, it's $5 instead of 20, magically. Sometimes it's $10. And so I can test exactly, when I talk about random pricing people, I can test which is the most profitable price. Yeah? So here's the example that I want to show you. So pre-orders, the app is called Bounce. At $5, I had a 1.4% conversion rate. So that means out of every 100 people, 1 and 4/10 of them bought Bounce. Which means I was generating 7 cents per visitor, which is a number. It's not particularly good, but it's just a number. In comparison, at $10, something magical happens. My conversion rate goes up. At $10, my conversion rate goes up. That means more people buy it at $10 than at $5, which is not something you would think about an app in the App Store. How many people here have bought $10 apps in the App Store? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, apparently you're funding my app. You're also funding my app. I did not think you were out there, but they are. There are people that are out there. So at this higher conversion rate, not only have I doubled my price, I've got more customers, so now I'm making 17 cents per visitor. On top of that, if I raise the price again to $20, my conversion rate almost cuts in half. Almost cuts in half, but I still, because it's not quite half, actually make more money at $20 than I do anywhere else. So what price I do, there's some things to think about here. Having more people own it might be better for virality, all kind of stuff. We'll take that into consideration. But the real big takeaway is we know how much our product is worth before we built it. This will take me months to build. Months. So I can spend months trying to build it, make the graphics all nice, and make it look all cool. Or I can just make a video in 2 weeks and then launch it up here and see how the market reacts. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's the tool for revenue streams. Let's talk about customer relationships. This is where naming and branding go. So what does your name look like? What does your logo look like? All that kind of stuff. Tests we can do there too. So this is a memorability test that I ran. Okay, here we go. So this is, again, I used Mechanical Turk. I said, hey, if you're on Mechanical Turk, I'll pay you 10 cents. I think that's what I paid, actually. 10 cents to go fill out this survey for you. So we sent people the survey, and then the very first thing it says, hearability test. Please listen to the following clips only once. So they get to this website, they click next page, and then what the survey will do, what I was trying to do is I was trying to test domain names. All the good domain names are taken, right? So I was trying to test which domain name I should use. Which ones are going to be the easiest to hear, spell, most memorable. So what we have here is basically, the instructions are play the sound, type out what you heard. So hopefully all the audio works.
The name of the website is thingswestart.com.
Right? So they type in thingswestart.com. All right? And then they go down to number 2.
The name of the website is changefunding.com.
Yes? You see how this is working? So we're not just guessing. we're not saying, oh, what's a cool name? We know that's an assumption. We think there was one of these three that we liked the best. It was the last one, and it turns out it was shit. And we knew it was shit because we asked our customers. The things we started was the easiest to hear, easiest to spell, also the most memorable. Oh, it's required. Yes. So there's some things in here. Also, I'm not paying someone 10 cents to just skip my survey. All right, that's a hard-earned 10 cents. So I make them, enter stuff in for all of these things. Really, these mechanical Turkers, they'll do amazing amounts of work for very little information. Okay, so I've given them the audio clip. Now I've told them so now you've heard them and you've seen all of the different names. So things we start change funding at altfunder.com. So. Okay, now we have a bunch of trick questions / memory scramblers is the idea here. So this is, go to this website over here and then find out the 9th word in this paragraph. Just something to get their brain sort of lost. I can't remember what the word is. What year were you born? I can use this to double check their age at the end of the survey to verify they were actually filling this out appropriately. What services do you use? Here's a little math, again, to make sure you're not a robot. Click next page. And now we ask them, write down the 3 domain names that we asked you about. And we see which ones they can recall. Yeah? So that's what I'm talking about measuring. It's not nothing crazy. Creativity helps. But there's no magical tools. It's just about understanding my customers have the answers and I need to go get them. So that's the naming test. All right, so back here. Okay, concierge, tool for testing key activity. This is where your product will go. Key activities, things you're going to do. And here, an example is something called a concierge model. Is that word familiar? Concierge, like in normal usage? Okay, great. So the idea here is that we're providing a service manually. That's what we're going to do. So I've actually got a friend, and he's doing one of these. So let me pretend to call him right now and see how that goes. Hopefully we'll get him. Hopefully he's around. Hey, Mark, how you doing? You look good.
Hey, Justin, man, good to see you too. You've never looked better.
Oh, thank you so much. What is it? Is it the ties? Is it the hair? What do you like?
No, you're actually not coming across the camera at all right now, so you might never look better.
Oh, I see. I look good because you can't see me. Okay, you're a dick. But let's get down to business. Because I hear you've got one. So tell me about your business.
Yeah, we do. It's called Moving World. We like to call it like a Peace Corps meets Match.com. We help people find the best place around the world where they can donate their professional skills as they travel the world.
Fantastic. So smart people get to go travel the world, right? So I hear you're making money too.
Yeah, we just got our 21st paying customer, and this has just been in the past few months.
Wow, fantastic. So maybe you can show us your homepage so we can see how you're making your money.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so this is his homepage. Homepage, you guys see it here? It says coming soon. And that's it, that's just a video there. So, go back.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to show you our homepage. If it's pulled up over there, you'll see that it's essentially nothing. What happened is people were signing up. We didn't actually have a developer, so we weren't actually able to build this platform. So this was kind of our first hypothesis, which is like, are people interested in a solution like this? And then as people started signing up, we thought, hey, this is great. Let's go try and get investment. Let's try and find a developer. We weren't able to do either of those. So then we said, okay, well then let's actually make sure that we can get paying customers. And so we set up a kind of another intake form, if you will, which is we can call it our product. That it's what we have right now, where any professional can put in information.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys what that looks like real quick. Like, are you dying to? Is your hair on fire? If you click this link, it opens up this page over here, which is an intake form. So it asks them, where do you want to go? What's your name? What's your email? What's your LinkedIn profile? Yeah. And then what he's going to do is he'll tell you about this, but I'll show you it as well. Oh, well, he basically, once you fill that form out, he gets on a Skype call.
About where they want to travel the world to. They input information on that form. I want to make sure that you can see that. And then after they put information in on that form, then I'll actually email with that person. Most of the time I'll get on Skype with that person. I'll figure out where they want to go. And then we go to our global partnership network. We find a place where they can donate their expertise, typically in exchange for accommodations. And we actually ask for these people to pay us this $99 matching fee up front. And they started to do that. The service was valuable enough, it was unique enough that they were willing to pay that money up front. And so, yeah, it's been entirely manual, entirely handheld. Like I said, we just got our 21st customer, and that's been with absolutely no marketing. It's all been just kind of viral sharing, and people from the email list, contacting us to say, hey, I really want to go somewhere, can you help? And so we set this up as a way to test that hypothesis of if people will pay for this service. And 21 people in, we're feeling pretty confident that we actually now are ready to start development and to really scale.
So that's fantastic. So why would you, as a technology company, even waste your time with a manual product?
Yeah, I think for two main reasons, right? The first one is learning, just being so, if you will, intimate with our customers through this kind of personal process of finding a place to volunteer overseas, and just really understanding what they need, what type of support they need, what features they need, is one thing that we really wanted to learn before we invested into development. And that alone has been a massive learning. We'll actually be launching our minimum viable product pretty soon, and it's way trimmed down from what we thought we were actually going to have to build. And that's totally a result of what we learned just from handholding. And then the second piece is we needed to prove that we were a business. We're putting our livelihoods on the line. We're asking for a software engineer to join the team. We're asking for an investor to put money behind the mission. More on a web app, one more of a product. Actually, the first thing, and they're actually both trying it, is actually trying to make it work without a product. And it's in terms of just the features that you're going to end up building, in terms of proving that there's actually payment there. I can't imagine trying to start a business without first, finding, if you will, both revenue and customers.
I can't remember what I was supposed to ask him now. Something about investing, probably, I think.
Pitch competitions or startup competitions totally changed once we actually had customers, right? The investors don't know every business line, they don't know everything. But they hear tons of ideas, right? And we were just another idea. But we're in a pitch competition here in Seattle. It's called the Northwest Entrepreneurs First Look Forum. Big event in Seattle where new startups kind of pitch their idea. It's actually judged by venture capitalists. And just being on stage and being able to say, look, and the reason we know this price point will work and these projections are accurate is because we currently have paying customers. And this is without any marketing dollars, right?
See if I can get there. Hey there, thanks for calling. Can I get your first name, please?
Yes, Marina.
Hi, Marina. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. So thank you so much for calling. So you've got a friend or a family member who runs late all the time, huh?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fantastic. So is it a friend or a family member?
Family.
Yeah, and what's their relation to you?
Friend.
Oh, and a friend. Wait, so is it a friendly family member, or you just you're a popular person?
I both.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about your family member. What's this person's relationship to you? Sister, your sister. Okay. And can I get your sister's first name?
Yes, Brittany.
Brittany. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so tell me a story about the last time Brittany was late.
Okay, I can do that. Well, we were on our way. We were supposed to meet at Starbucks. I was at my college, and we had a Starbucks date. Supposedly, we were supposed to be at 12:30, and she said, actually, she's the one who initiated the Starbucks date. So I'm okay, that's fine. we'll meet at Starbucks at 12:30. It's 12:40. I'm there, and I'm like, hey, where are you? She's like, oh, something came up. I'm still doing my hair. I'll be there.
Oh no.
It was kind of frustrating because she's so initiated that
Yeah, right?
my Starbucks date, so.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, you said you mentioned it was frustrating. Any other feelings that come to mind when your sister's late?
More than frustration, I guess the main thing is just frustration because with her, because it happens often,
Yeah.
you know, rather than one thing, I was, you know, not a big deal. I'm a very forgiving person.
I see.
But, you know, when it's continual, that's when it's kind of like, okay.
Right, no, that makes sense. So, is this something that she's trying to work on?
I haven't really told her because I haven't really told her because I don't know, you know, I don't know, I haven't really told her, but I don't think she's aware of it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, so if you had to guess, you know, what's stopping you from telling her?
That's a good question. I guess, I don't know, I guess maybe I don't know exactly how to put it without being, you know, without hurting.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I think just two more questions. One is, have you ever, let me ask you, your sister, does she have an iPhone or an Android phone?
Yes, it's an iPhone.
iPhone, fantastic. Have you ever purchased an app for her?
An app, no.
No, okay. Have you ever purchased your own apps?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And do you remember what was the highest price that you paid for an app?
I don't, I tried to say the highest I paid was 99 cents.
Gotcha, fantastic. Okay, so thank you so much for taking the time. We're actually, I'm working on an app that is to help people who have friends who are late all the time. So the idea is that you could give the app to someone who's late. If you're interested, I can send you an email when it's available.
Okay, that would be great.
Cool. Okay, can I get your email address?
Yes, it's YOU
Uh-huh.
NC
Uh-huh.
RAE
Great.
93
Okay.
at yahoo.com.
Yahoo.com. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. Best of luck to you and Brittany. The password you need is watermelon.
Watermelon.
That's it. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay. So that's it. So that's how you interview customers.
That's the end of the
Okay, so that's one of several tools that you can use. I do want to, actually, while this is still fresh in our head,
And, you know, I
demographics there.
some things I just want to sort of cue you into on that call. Well, first, I don't want to take much time. Okay, so the things the story. You notice the story was key. I'm in listening mode when I'm interviewing my customers. Telling a story is a great way for her to bring up a bunch of information that I can dive into. You notice that I asked about feelings. How does it feel? Because feelings are the emotional triggers people pull into when it's time to go sell something again. You know, frustrated that your friends are always late. I use her word. I don't make one up. Yes? I'm not assuming the things they feel. Frustration. She feels frustration. Yeah. You'll notice that I asked why. Why do you think she's there? I don't know if I asked why. I asked why at some point. I did ask why. You should always ask why. As Marco said, 5 times that'll get you to the root cause. At the end, I asked, hey, can I spam you when we launch? I also asked, hey, have you ever purchased an app for someone else? Of course, the answer is no, right? Like very few people have ever purchased apps for someone else. But I'm assuming that. I'm assuming that no one else has. But I want to check and make sure that no one has. And then, of course, the pricing information about what's the highest app that you've already paid for. 99 cents, right? That's really telling. This is our second customer calling. I'm not going to take this one. We're just going to be quiet. Okay, so, and then there was one thing that I didn't do at all. Didn't do at all. And I know it's going to be really hard to know. I didn't ask anything about the future. I didn't ask her, would you buy an app if for your friend? Because she hasn't already. That means she's not going to. I didn't ask, would you pay blah, 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 blah? Because it doesn't matter. She's not going to know. You never ask future questions when you're interviewing customers, because guess what they would be?
Assumptions.
Assumptions, that's right. And we don't need more assumptions, we already got plenty. What we need are actual facts, past behavior. Yes, so that's what we're looking for, actual measurement. So that's, there's like a whole 40-minute conversation on how to do interviews, but those are just things that I want to sort of cue you into. Okay, so Mark, basically what he's going to finish saying, I'll skip that. What Mark did is goddamn amazing. He doesn't have a developer and he's got 21 paying customers. Yes? 21 paying customers, he hasn't built a goddamn thing. So, and he's making money, he's making real money. That's what we want you guys to do. There's no reason to spend months and months and months. Technology is easy, making money is hard. So go do what Mark did. And it's because of that, he's won a pitch competition with $50,000 and he's got investors. So, you know, you talk about demos, you talk about this, you talk about that. Go get fucking money, you'll go get more money, right? That's the secret to getting money. Go make money. And there's no reason that you can't go make money tonight. Okay, so that was Concierge Model. So you've seen all of the tools. You got a sample of all the different tools. You know that it's possible. They're all assumptions. We can measure all of them. And so in conclusion, this is the slide. This is the one that's going to change your life. You go from amateur to engineer because amateurs assume, engineers measure, by recognizing that everything in your head is an assumption, and you need to replace those assumptions with measurements. Okay, so that's the big takeaway. So now the question is for you guys, what do you want to be? Do you want to be amateurs, or do you want to be engineers? Engineers. That was solid. I like this side. This was good. This is another customer calling. Well, thank you. Okay, so, but we can do better now. This is literally going to change your life. This is the talk that you're in that Bible. So everyone stand up again. Stand up again. This is why I'm in Puerto Rico, because seriously, like no other FI does this. No other FI gives me 40 minutes to ramble on like this, yes? No other FI sends people out here. We're so dedicated to this in this program. We think you guys can have such an impact in Puerto Rico. I'm so excited that you guys, of all of your expertise and your wealth, that you're here. So I want to know, are you going to be amateurs or engineers? Engineers! Amateurs or engineers? Engineers! Amateurs or engineers, baby! With that, you guys have seen the tools today. We got to show you all of the tools. You got to see a taste of them, but we have a special surprise for you. I'm not just here for FI. We planned, Marcos, Rampas, and I, a special day, Saturday 29th. You guys will get to play with the tools. Yes? So you won't just see them, you'll actually get to put your hands in. You will do real interviews on mechanical Turk, like we just did. Say yes. Yes! You get to do price testing, say yes! Yes! You get to do name testing, say yes! Yes! And you'll get to take real customer money. Everyone say real customer money! Real customer money! Exactly. I want it. Yes, okay, so now, yes, we all want the real customer money. Now, these tools, they are not free. They're not like everything else on the internet. You're going to become an engineer. So it is $199 to go. That said, I really, really, really want all of you guys to be here. And I'm dead serious. I want all of you guys to be here because this is going to be the tool that trains you into real engineers and sets you guys apart of all the other startups out there. So you've got two options if you don't want to pay $199. Number one, we're going to email you out a coupon code which knocks $130 off. Yes? So it's $130, boom, gone, come, please come, please come, please come. If you do not have $69, I still really, really, really want you to be there. I'm so goddamn serious. I want you to be there. So you have another option. If you're willing to show that you want to get in, if you're willing to go, you can pay whatever you want. We're going to send out instructions for a hacker price. It means you're going to hack your way in because I desperately want you guys to be there and get this information, yes? And then afterwards, pay whatever you want, right? It can be nothing. It can be whatever you thought it was worth. It can be $2,000 because it will be that valuable. But you can pay whatever you want. Yes? Yeah. Time, yes? Yes! Thank you so much. You guys have been actually awesome to interact with. Thank you so much for playing with me.